You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith. Johnson.
From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, and streaming live on Ustream, this is AFTERBUZZ TV for Revenge. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest revenge news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, picking up where the show leaves off and the buzz continues, it's AFTERBUZZ TV for Revenge.
What up, AfterBuzzers? It is Phil Svitek along with Michelle Macedo. How are you, Michelle?
Hey guys, how are you, Phil?
I'm great. Happy holidays, by the way. I know Revenge, obviously different theme of happiness and, being merry with everyone. But hey, I hope you guys are enjoying the holiday.
I'm sure there's some revenge on everybody's mind.
Sure. Get that revenge on that mean uncle of yours. Anyway, for those of you who don't know, we are recapping all of the early episodes that we missed. So that way, when the January 4th premiere comes back in, we are ready to go. And so tonight, we are recapping episode 3, entitled Betrayal. So, by the way, why don't we start with this? Because I'm going to give myself a big round of applause, or whatever you want to call it. Because I guess you're right. The dad, for... What's the last names? The Packer brothers?
No. You mean
well, I'm talking about the brothers. What?
Parker.
The Parkers. That's it. Their father has died.
He had a heart attack at the end of the last episode. He owned the bar. He was in trouble. The last thing that his son said to him was that he was a loser.
That's true.
Porter. I'm sorry. Porter.
That's it.
Porter.
Our apologies. And as I said, right? I said last episode that he served his purpose. Now, you didn't believe me.
No, I didn't think that they would kill someone off so fast, but they did.
But do you like that? Do you not like that?
I don't know. I guess it goes to show that no one is safe.
I mean, obviously the show is entitled Revenge, but again, I think for the purposes of Revenge, the story, you didn't need him. You know, he kind of served his purpose, and now I think, as I said, now the brothers will kind of start to have a deeper purpose. As I said in the prior episodes, they're setting something up. And now, with the father's death, now, as we kind of see, Nolan now gives the computer away. Can
we talk about that in
go ahead.
detail?
Go ahead.
You mean when he gives the computer away to Declan?
Yes.
When he figures out, Nolan knows this, but he can hack into anybody's computer and record them from their own webcam. Talk about use his own laptop against him. And it's so sweet because Declan sees that he is coming into the room and he's coming in with Charlotte, the girl that he has a crush on, and he doesn't want to watch it. So he's like, she didn't do anything. And he closed the computer. That was nice. But
Nolan, of course, didn't know.
But
Nolan couldn't be more giddier to watch that.
No, he was so happy. Yeah, exactly. Nolan was ready to watch it. He was ready to go. And then he sees him with Charlotte's boyfriend with another girl, a blonde girl, just hanging out in her bra. And this is a surprise. He records it. He sends Charlotte a video. We all think it's going to be the video of him cheating on her so that she can break up with her boyfriend and get together with Declan. But it's just Declan saying, here's the sunset. The only thing missing is you. Now, Phil, what do you think of guys that do that? I think that's really sweet. Would you ever think to do that?
I would, but I think for him, he's saving it. He's building up all of his cards, and what as soon as the email came in, I was like, wait, did he send it anonymously or who is it from? That was my big question. And then I saw that it was from him, and so I don't think he would be the one. He wouldn't want it to send it through his account. He would want to do it anonymously. And so as soon as I saw that, I was like, okay, he couldn't possibly be that dumb to send this video. Because it's very unfortunate, but you're going to kill the messenger,
Yeah.
And that raises so many questions. And especially in this world and with Victoria, he knows better than to offset it by delivering that type of news. He wants that to happen and her to find out, but he doesn't want to be, quote, the one to deliver it to her.
Well, Phil, do you think that when Charlotte's boyfriend doesn't want to come and support with her family event, do you think that probably means that a guy's cheating on you?
Not necessarily. Irony is, I think the big thing is he wasn't invited. It's a very exclusive party.
She invited him.
Did she?
That's why she was on the phone with him, and then he hung up and started making out with that girl. She was like, please come. Like, I want you to come. If you want to get back together, if you want to win my heart over, then please come. This is part of that. And he literally didn't give it a second thought. We know why now. He said, call me when it's over. He was invited.
Oh,
she personally invited him.
Oh, that's what I thought it was. When he said, call me when it's over, I thought he wasn't invited. So I missed that part.
Oh, no. She was inviting him.
I see. I mean, okay, that definitely adds a whole nother twist.
Well, do you think that that's pretty obvious guilty behavior? Or is that kind of normal that guys are kind of lazy and whatever?
I mean, here's the thing. I can't fully answer that question because it is the Hamptons, and no, I'm saying because I think if he wasn't invited by Victoria personally, then I could see
that was never the issue.
No, I know it's not, but I'm saying, it could be a problem because, okay, Victoria's obviously the one in charge, and so if you're not on that guest list to this exclusive kind of event, then I could see, okay.
But her kids, I feel, could bring anyone they wanted. I really don't think it has to do with the guest list, and
how much?
He
but
obviously wasn't being considerate, Phil.
I understand he's not, but
he was always invited, though.
Okay, forget the fact...
She was like, are you sure you don't want to come?
Real quick, though. Forget the fact that he was invited, right?
But that's the point.
How much does she love her kids? Not very much. She's not very proud of them, is she?
That's arguable.
She wants them to be better, right? She's very disappointed with Daniel.
She's narcissistic, but she loves her kids, I think. What the definition of love or how she shows it, that's questionable.
Well, all I'm saying, I'm obviously not condoning that what he did was right in any means. Obviously, it was a terrible thing. But I'm saying one could argue for the perspective. One could see, again, if I was him, the perfect lie would be to say, hey, I didn't want to come because I was not directly invited by your mother, and I know how these events are.
Right. I think he's not smart enough to use that, though.
Well, I'm not saying he is. Anyways, that's where that was. But moving on to the bigger point of the brothers. As I've kind of said in prior episodes, now they're really starting to build up, them to be able to revenge themselves something. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And obviously now this episode, they have the means to do it. He has the video.
Yep, he has a video. He has a brand new laptop. That's what I want to do someday. Someone asks, hey, can I borrow that? Keep it. Just keep it.
Which is awesome.
Yeah.
That's why awesome. I love Nolan.
Yeah.
But yeah, in terms of the brothers, I think they're really building up nicely. And that's why I don't think, as much as it pains me that obviously that the father's gone, I don't mind him being there. I think story-wise it was great. And now, why don't we talk about the fact that they're torn apart? One obviously regrets. Okay, we said what we said to the father, but
You
know,
called him a loser and you meant it.
well, yes, one of them meant it, the other did not. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that? That's a very harsh thing to say. That I call him a loser, and I meant it.
I think he's just angry, and he's just frustrated, and he's frustrated mostly with himself. And so he's saying that he meant it and stuff. But obviously, like the guy said, like his brother said, he broke his back just to keep them afloat. So obviously, he did a lot for his kids.
I mean, it's an
I
obvious.
think I don't know, Phil, but I think it would be easier to be angry, at the father, especially after, he passed away. I think it'd be easier, more natural to be angry at that, even though he couldn't help it.
Well, it's just in many ways it's easier to deal with it and say, hey, you know what? You're a loser, and not only that, you died because of it. You're right. I don't know how to fully explain it, but the alternative of thinking that you lost a really great person, I guess, is tougher.
Yeah, exactly. And that you really effed up and said that right before he happened to have a heart attack. And I mean,
all right, let's talk about the next subject.
Emily and Daniel.
Yes, I want to talk about that, and a lot happened obviously today. He discovers the gun, which
Snoopy Snooperson.
which Emily has to be. She has
He
to be
should
more.
not go through her stuff, but she shouldn't have the drawer with the gun open.
Yes, and I think new rule that she has to implement or will implement, hopefully, is no more people in her house.
But also put something
Unless
on
it's
top
Nolan.
of the gun. And she hasn't really had anyone in her house except for the people that walk in by the door. And the thing is that drawer was right by the door. But she needs to be more careful.
It
That
makes
was
sense
way
why
too
the
easy.
gun is by the door. I mean, that's where you would put a gun.
I get that. But now he knows where the gun is. Now he knows that she has a gun.
But
It's
she
just
played off
sketchy.
well.
Yeah, she did.
But I think again,
And he
in the
was like, "We
meantime,
should
she
go
did. But I
shooting
think
sometime."
I think it's gonna come back in some sort of
Yeah, I think so too.
way.
She's been really careful thus far, so I hope this doesn't ruin her ultimate plan.
Hopefully not. But
So let's talk about Victoria, though.
no. Wait, hold on. I do want to ask though that the question has to be asked: is she really falling in love with Daniel, or is it just that she's using and abusing?
I think she's just using and abusing. I think she's way too focused to let that kind of stuff get in the way.
You think so?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's kind of, not I don't want to say cliche because that gives it a bad thing, but because obviously they're kind of playing it in a different way, and it's all about how you play it. But how many times have you seen, it's the classic. You're not supposed to fall in love with this person, and that's exactly who you fall in love with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
totally. It's typical, and
So you don't
she's
think
not
that-
supposed to. I mean, I think in time, but it's too soon, I think, to tell.
You really think so?
Mm-hmm. What do you think?
Well, let me ask you this then: why did she give him the kiss? To
It's all part of
ingratiate-
the plan. She's
to ingratiate
manipulating
herself.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Maybe on some level she's letting herself go there, but ultimately I think that she'll just justify it by saying that she just needed to do what she needed to feel what was natural, but that the only part of that was to serve this ultimate bigger purpose.
all right. Well, you know what? I guess for this week I'm gonna agree with you in that she's serving a bigger purpose because if nothing else, the evidence is in the fact that she sent. She obviously sets up Daniel to get his car wrecked at the restaurant, which was awesome.
The Italian steakhouse,
Yes.
and
then she sends him to
the
speak with the.
table.
I was gonna say to make amends with what happened last year with the cocktail waitress. and the sister
We
of
broke
the guy.
her spine.
Yeah.
Now I think she's still in rehab. I'm guessing like physical therapy. And he was like an idiot and like crashed around a pole. And now his parents paid off her parents and stuff, which like at least they had money. Imagine if they didn't. And then, you know, at least they had money. Thank God she wasn't paralyzed. But her brother came and just was destroying the car with the golf club. I would think that would get him fired no matter what the personal situation is.
I mean, it might have been just something that they didn't show. I don't know. Or, you know, who knows? It could have been Daniel. Maybe there was that situation. Daniel was like, no, it's okay. You don't have to fire him. I'm an asshole. But I guess in realizing that, you are right that I think it was all a setup. And as sort of Daniel and Victoria go head to head, she has to ingratiate herself all the more to Daniel so that he buys her trust. And I guess the kiss sort of sealed that for the time being, you know? Eventually she's going to have to put out, though. Just saying.
But is she? Well, but is she?
I mean,
I
she
guess
will.
we will see at what point she's at, you know? We'll see how many people are off her list.
Yes. Now let us talk about Victoria, because I don't know if this is exactly the first time that we've seen it, but in my mind it is. This is the first time that Victoria made a mistake and she wasn't fully in control. In the fact of I'm speaking about the senator and what happened in the past, where you know she let her emotions get in the way when she wanted. With the trial, she was against the now senator doing what he did.
You mean she wanted to testify for Emily's / Amanda's dad?
Yes.
And prove him innocent, which he was, but then she would have been charged for perjury.
Yes.
And her husband came in and kind of like covered the tracks and like, be quiet, honey, which is obviously, I would think that there's a lot of resentment in that marriage. Especially since she had a great line about, well, you shouldn't have slept with my best friend. You know, and I'm sure that he has a lot of resentment towards her because she was obviously sleeping with him. And he said, don't listen to her. She's just in love with him. And they even lied to the lawyer, which is why I kind of feel bad for the lawyer. I mean, obviously he's a liar. But I kind of feel bad for the lawyer because really he was just doing his job. He's supposed to, you know, defend them no matter what. So
I mean, I think it was the first time for me that Victoria wasn't in control. You know, and I liked seeing that. And the question I wanted to, very interesting with the necklace and the earrings. Obviously the senator's wife during the dinner conversation is like, oh, you have a nice necklace. Now this is the necklace that her husband gave her, correct?
Well,
I'm
it
not wrong.
looks like the necklace that her husband gave her, yeah.
But so if it is, in fact, that's what, and she doesn't answer that question, it obviously, she doesn't want to admit that she got it from her husband. The earrings we know she got from David, and those are what she treasures more. The necklace she put on more out of habit. Again, she's all about her outward appearances. I mean, there's no better person. Her and Emily are amazing at playing the roles.
Yeah.
They must.
Yeah.
In this society or whatever you want to call it.
The Hamptons life.
But she doesn't have to admit that it came from her husband. She just has to acknowledge, thank you.
Yeah. And then there was that face afterwards.
There was. And by the way, she had a great face when she found out that the senator and Emily knew each other as well.
Oh, that's true.
She was just so not happy. I mean, I really wonder what was going through her mind at that moment.
Yeah, definitely a surprise, especially since Victoria was trying to seat Emily, change it up the last minute, seat them next to each other.
Well, that was a reaction to that.
Oh yeah.
as well as other things. But
Yeah. Well, that was crazy too. I mean, Victoria's really out to get her. Really, really trying to figure out what's going on. I mean, all of her time and energy is spent.
what was the line? I wish I wrote it down. What the detective said to her. It's basically, to paraphrase, she looks at him and says, I'm afraid trust is something I don't have time for, something like that.
It's something that I don't have the luxury to do or
she
something.
basically can't trust in people.
Yeah, especially after, Emily's dad.
Mm-hmm.
Neither of them can. I think that incident traumatized them both. But, of course, didn't affect her as much as his daughter.
Correct. So, I think as kind of predicted / as is necessary, we're starting to kind of see weaknesses in Victoria, and as I have said in the past, as I'm gonna continue to say, for those of hopefully, I'm gonna start a coalition of the willing. But I think the season finale, or maybe hopefully the season finale, I don't see it going any other way. It's Victoria versus Emily. And these sort of small battles that we're seeing will sort of are sort of indications of how you can sort of go in, how you can bring the other person down.
Yeah.
But do anything else before we sort of move on to this week's revenge plot, which is the Senator?
Well, I mean, all I have to say is that it's kind of random, but, her son's roommate came in from Harvard. I mean, do you think that was about anything?
I'm sure we'll see that guy again. We have to. I mean, it was made too big to not be something.
I know,
especially with Ashley. And we know Ashley's a recurrent character. I don't know. For right now, we just kind of know that she's sort of been Emily's eyes and ears into these parties. It hasn't been fully utilized, I don't think, but it has to come into play.
Yeah.
So thank you for bringing that up, actually, though.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about the Senator.
So obviously she has footage, and no one knows how, but obviously commitment, as Nolan says, but she has footage of the Senator having sex with this young little blonde. This blonde got an abortion. Apparently, he just said, well, actually, that's not true. All they said was that they took care of it. And so obviously, I think that means that he's just paying for the child. Someone has been tricking this woman and sending her emails pretending to be from him for the past month.
Oh, that's Emily.
Yeah, well, yeah. And the thing is, what computer is it coming from? Dun, dun, dun.
Well, we know. I mean, that's the ultimate hacker move. I mean, the fact that was pulled off, and
that's amazing.
Which is great. Obviously, knowing I like the flashbacks, the way they happened, because it points to Victoria. Which, obviously, if the end goal is to get Victoria, because she's the cause of all of this, then what better way to do it than bring down the people that brought your father down, and then have that help you bring down the ultimate person.
Yeah.
I love that. And I love it. I just love the Senator. What's that?
Go ahead.
I was going to talk about the Senator's speech.
Yeah, I thought that's what you were going to talk about.
Yes. What were your thoughts on that?
No, I was just saying that you laughed. I think it was funny how Nolan just sent a message saying, look at the, woman in the red dress, or there's a woman in the red dress. Obviously, there's a woman standing there smiling, totally pregnant.
By the way, real quick, do you think that was a call? What's interesting, Emily wears, I'm gonna say red, even though you're gonna say like some
Fuchsia.
Okay, there you go. Some color I've never even heard of. Like, why don't we
Fuchsia
just,
magenta-ish.
why don't we say it was like Falcon-esque? Just make up names for colors. No, I'm sick of it. Like,
No, that's a real
80,000
color.
colors. There's
That's a
so
real
many
color.
colors. Why
There's a
can't we just
color
say
wheel,
red?
Phil.
It was kind of
There's a color wheel.
okay. Great.
All right. So you just made that up. But
So
how
the color
about
falcon-
let's say colors that pop, colors that are passionate, colors that have energy.
Colors of war.
Energy colors, aggressive colors, sure.
And-
While
and-
Victoria wears more neutral, earthy colors.
Yes.
I think that's because that's way more complimentary of her qualities physically, and it could be a character choice too, but
anyways, the point I was making is Emily and the unknown girl that sleeps around are pretty much wearing the same color. And not only that, I don't know, this probably has nothing to do with anything, but the woman in the red dress was obviously a big thing of The Matrix. So I guess, if it's this kind of sci-fi, not sci-fi, but kind of like thriller, and Nolan represents the sci-fi aspect of it, which I love Nolan. I guess hopefully it's an homage to the woman in the red dress in The Matrix.
Red is passion, red is birth, red is death, red is blood, red is all of these things. There's a woman in the red dress for
Every
so
man.
many things.
Woman in red dress for every man. That is a world I hope to one day live in.
Ew. Well, you can have a woman in a red dress, and no one can promise what kind of woman that will be.
Excellent. But yeah, awesome speech. The wife is clearly confused.
Clearly confused, but what's a speech? I'm sorry. I wanted to announce that I will no longer be running and will stay out of the public eye. And I'm sorry.
By the way, I wonder throughout history how many times something similar like that has happened. I mean, by the way, for those of you watching or listening or whatever you guys are doing, however you're getting it, maybe you're getting it through script form. I don't know. But the point being, go see Ides of March. Very interesting movie about politics and kind of very much in vein of tonight's episode and how dirty politics are.
You know what? I think that now is the time and age where where people can't get away with that so much anymore. Whereas any time before this, we didn't have Twitter. We had like publicists, and press, but those people can be paid off or called up. It's not so accessible as it is now to every single person that can make those announcements. It's more of a thing you kind of have to be there or no one will hear about it.
That's true. But again, I think that's why I think in the past you had all the more power and that you got paid off because if you had that information, I don't know. Anyway, any other last thoughts before we kind of wrap up tonight and move on to a commercial? And then kind of give
that's about it.
Well, again, another great episode, and we'll go into predictions and give some quick news and gossip, although it's not necessarily new. Well, it's kind of news. It'll be news. This came out, whatever. Anyway, we'll be right back after this commercial.
AfterBuzz TV. Hi, I was once like you, a lazy, angry loner whose only joy was watching TV and surfing the net. And like you, after I'd see one of my favorite TV shows, I'd be so excited and have so many questions that I'd actually have to talk to my douchebag coworkers about it at the water cooler. Then I discovered AfterBuzzTV.com. AfterBuzz TV produces after-show webcasts and podcasts for TV series of all kinds, like post-game wrap-up shows for all your favorite TV shows. AfterBuzz TV hosts are industry insiders who break down episodes of shows, take calls from fans, and interview cast and crew from each series, with over 60 different after-shows, from Boardwalk Empire to American Idol to Vampire Diaries to Real Housewives, and more. Now, after a night of TV, I can ignore my stupid coworkers, who I hate, and go straight to my desk and watch or listen to all my favorite AfterBuzz TV after shows, and have all the TV fan interaction I need. Thank you, AfterBuzz TV. AfterBuzz TV. What do you want to buzz about?
boop, 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 boop.
Oh, wow. It sounded nothing like it.
I know.
AfterBuzz TV News.
Well, guys, although it's December 27th, the news and gossip that I have is the 10 most underrated TV performances of 2011.
Okay, I see that, yeah.
Ready?
Mhm.
Ready? I got some clapping going.
Okay.
Madeline
Mm-hmm.
Stowe, who plays Victoria,
Yep.
in her role. And I mean, I guess you could call it underrated. I don't know. I mean, for me, being in the industry, there's a lot of talk about how great the show is, how great the cast is, and I mean, I see it every week. I mean, tell me otherwise. That is she not a phenomenal actress?
No, she's great.
She's.
I mean, yeah, no. Yeah.
They say she turns as a hot piece of ice on Revenge, and she does. I like the humanity she brings to that kind of role, which is great.
Also, The Big Bang Theory, so true. Underrated.
I don't think you can underrate Jim Parson any less. I mean, the guy's won so many Emmys at this point.
Oh,
for his
yeah, I guess so.
performance.
I guess so.
Certainly. I mean, him and his counterpart, definitely underrated, because now they're kind of the,
Counterparts.
yes. Anyway, so that's kind of the news and gossip for this week. Again, we won't really have too much because we're kind of just recapping until we get to the new year. Speaking of the new year, real quick, Michelle, before we get into predictions, can you guess how many new shows we will be doing at the start of 2012? So many are coming back.
How many?
I don't really know. I just wanted you to guess.
Oh, well,
Probably at least
100.
Probably at least 20. I don't know about 100. That is a lot.
I just threw out a number.
That is a lot. But no, we
I
will be
know.
doing at least 20. I mean, I know Shameless is coming
Awesome.
back. We know
Woo.
we know Californication is coming back. Spartacus, American Idol, Voice, Dancing with the Stars.
Wow.
Oh,
Okay.
and
you're
big
getting really
news.
intense.
We're working on getting the Pussycat Dolls to do a show here.
Loosen up my buttons, bang bang.
That's right. And of course, Revenge will be coming back, so we'll be all caught up by then. And speaking of the Pussycat Dolls, though, real quick, Michelle, your music is nothing like the Pussycat Dolls, and I mean that in the best way. I would say it's kind of more like for me at least, the score of Revenge, which is
music.
Yes, which is a compliment.
Right. It has nothing to do with loosening buttons.
No. So, by the way, Michelle is a musician. She's a great one. She hails from a band called Macedo. I wonder why. It's not like her last name's Macedo. Anyway,
Because it is. That's why that's funny.
if you guys like the music on Revenge, or if you just like music, check it out on iTunes, or you can check out their new music video called "Caught." That's as in like I caught a fish on YouTube.
Just Picot, Macedo Entertainment, or go to macedomusic.com.
There you go, MacedoMusic.com. Check it out. Support our hosts who are here every week for you. Again, one of the big things that we don't necessarily advertise, but I wish we did, we are completely free, for you guys, because we love you guys and we love listening, so spread the word. Anyway, why don't we get into predictions, Michelle?
All right. Well, I'm excited because we're about
You gotta
to
wait
watch.
for the music.
Your AfterBuzz
Oh, God. Okay, I'm excited. All right.
AfterBuzz TV Productions, go.
Wow, okay. I'm excited because we're going to watch the next episode. We don't have to wait a week. It's already out. We got to go and watch it. I guess
Yes, for those of you
next-
watching live, we'll be on probably in that. Well, we will be on in the next 40 minutes.
Well, yeah. I guess they're going to introduce maybe a new character.
They have to. I mean, that.
Someone's catching on to her.
They slowly but surely are. By the way, clear it. Oh my God, Jake hasn't caught on yet.
Who?
The brother.
Oh. Oh, the oldest one.
Yes, Sammy's keeper.
Oh, Sammy.
Sammy
Sammy's
clearly has
keeper.
caught up.
Sammy knows what's up like a long time ago. Sammy's like, you dumbasses. Sammy knows what's up. Sammy.
I think.
Sammy looks like our mascot, Buzz.
I think Daniel and Emily will have to get more closer. Part of Emily's plan.
I think she has a soft spot for him.
So now you think that?
No, for
Don't say
Jack.
For Jack, I think so too. But
Not for.
I it doesn't fit into her plans. By the way, Nolan is proving to be very, very handy, which I like.
Yes, he is.
I don't really. Again, we don't have the benefit of seeing the previews. We're watching this via iTunes, so there's no previews. So it's
true.
tough to. We don't get any teasers. Obviously, someone will be revenged upon. I don't know. Do you have anything else before we wrap out?
No, I'm excited to see the next show.
Well, for those of you watching live now, and we will be on the next hour. And hey, check us out on iTunes. I know most of you are probably driving or whatever. It's a perfect time to do it. You know, you just load up the iPod, iPhone, iPad, iGadget, iOwn, whatever, and listen to us. You know,
And while you're at it, look up AfterBuzz or AfterBuzz TV, and then look up Macedo, Macedo.
yes, we cover lots of shows and music, and if you need a break every now and then, you can listen to some Macedo. But anyways, thank you very, very much for another great episode. Thanks for listening. We will be back with the latest ones. We will be fully caught up before the latest episode of Revenge. So until then, keep listening and spread the word. Thank you very much.
From producers Kevin Undergaro and Phil Svitek, engineer DJ Jesse Janity, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. If you have questions or comments, be sure to buzz us at info@AfterBuzzTV.com. And you can find us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter by searching for AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
Buzz you later.
And get some revenge for the new year. You know what I mean?
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.